Hi, this video is titled Criticizing Obama. I've found that there are a variety of bases for criticizing Obama. Some criticize Obama for what he does, the policies that he implements, such as the laws that he signs or vetoes. Some criticize Obama for his rhetoric. Some criticize Obama based on the relationship between his rhetoric and his actions or policies or laws signed in or vetoed. I want to try to get into an example. Take Libya. Some criticized Obama because he participated with the bombing campaigns, and they likewise criticized him because he only did the bombing campaigns and he did not also send in ground troops sooner. Some criticized him because the way that he was speaking didn't seem to be strong enough language to show support for the Libyan freedom fighters. While some said that his rhetoric did not match his self-proclaimed more diplomatically engaging administration. And some said that some criticized him because of his relationship to what he said in the past and to what he was doing at that time, and some criticized him for what he was saying at that time. But these are kind of like goes back to the people, I guess you can blend, that criticized him for not sending in troops earlier. They were saying that he was talking all this freedom, but then he was not backing it up by his actions. On the flip side to all of these, these are all the bases for criticisms, but on the flip side, all of these can be or are found to be the basis for adoration as well. The opposite of criticism being adoration, as opposed to opposition and support. Because unless we were actively engaged in it, it wasn't about support. It was that we were celebrating what he was doing, or we were criticizing what he was doing, unless we were an active participant. So the support side. Some said that he was doing exactly what was right. Then the bombings were an adequate response. And that it was important that he take those steps at a time when the United States Congress had proven to be broken and people wanted to join the free world. It was important for someone to take immediate action. Some said that the speeches, the things that he was saying about Libya were a wonderful vision, and that was primarily a post-Gaddafi regime change, post-Gaddafi Libya, and they thought that was good. They weren't too sure about the bombing as the right method, but they thought his proposed vision, so to speak, was adequate. And then there were those that said that both what he was saying and what he was doing was right in sync, not only in a ideological means, but in a kind of like an international standard. And at the same time too, there were those that said his rhetoric and his actions were right on line. And I think there's a portion of these that kind of hold that kind of inject a small criticism that I don't really know is a criticism, but they might, there's a small portion of the people with this mentality that will at the same time say they think he could have done more sooner, but at the very least they'll say, you know, but no one really knew, you know, it was a tough decision to make and no one really knew how it turned out. It just happened that what he chose worked, and that maybe if he would take action sooner next time, we can have less casualties or a faster process or something like that. So that's my basic attempt to break down the variety of criticisms that are thrown at Obama, as well as the support that is generated for him. And I hope that this video can stimulate a conversation on a broader topic of how can, you know, because we have to take into account that all these different views, drawing from each of these different views, the people that prescribe to them do so and define them as the right thing, as the right thing to do, not just the right action to take or whatever, but actually based on their view of this situation, they are interpreting what it is to be correct or right. So I hope that within the context of all of these different dynamics of criticizing and supporting Obama, that we can draw in the bigger conversation of as a nation, do we want to do what's right, and is there a way to determine what's right, assuming that there is also a what wrong and also what's wrong, and once we determine that, is it possible to choose in between, or is it that whatever we choose is right? So I hope these questions are stimulating. I hope my presentation is good, and I'm trying to up production.